Welcome to Rock Solid, the Round Rock Business Leaders Podcast. Join your host, Bryan Eisenberg, as he explores the journeys of entrepreneurs and companies across Round Rock, Texas. From startups and nonprofits to large organizations, each guest shares their passion for doing business in this thriving community. Let's dive in.
Hi, everybody. It's Bryan Eisenberg, and welcome to the Rock Solid Podcast. This is a very special week because we got a couple of very special guests. I'm going to introduce Mary Stone in a minute, but I do want to shout out one thing because we'll talk about her coffee, and of course, people love to take sips and not necessarily swallow your coffee. But my book, I Think I Swallowed an Elephant, The Stories We Sell, The Success We Build, came out this week. So you can actually get your physical copies. Audiobook, we're still working on it, finishing it up here in the studio. It's recorded. We just got to get all the processing done and we'll get it out there. Mary, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
You are known in our community for supplying us entrepreneurs early morning with coffee. I know you do the Million Cups, you do board meetings. There's a bunch of other things. Tell us a little bit about how you're serving coffee to our community.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, so Stone Stash Coffee is who we are, and we have been serving, I guess, the Round Rock community and surrounding area of Williamson County for several years now. We were established in 2022, and we've been a part of the community for a long time, but coffee is a really easy way to kind of get, even deeper into the community, especially those early morning meetings. So yeah, the business leadership series through the chamber, the 1 Million Cups, like you mentioned, lots of different meetings, board meetings. We've just been, kind of supplying the community and our friends with
keeping us caffeinated.
Our delicious coffee. Yeah.
Rock Solid is produced and recorded at Round Rock Studio. Located right here in Round Rock, our state-of-the-art studio is built for podcasters and creatives alike. We offer multiple professionally designed podcast sets, top-notch recording gear, and a full photography studio ready for any project. Whether you're launching a new podcast or upgrading your existing one, we can help with multi-camera recording, editing, and everything you need for success. Record with us at Round Rock Studio, your local podcasting partner.
I want to kind of rewind because, I know a little bit about the background of how you got into the coffee business and how you run it today, and we'll talk about that. But I'm fascinated because it started with a popcorn maker.
It did. I'm glad you remember that. That's awesome. Yes. So really our whole entrepreneurial journey started with a popcorn maker during the pandemic. So my husband, I would call him a hobbyist. When he gets his hands on something or decides he wants to learn how to make something, maybe make it better or just do it for himself, he goes all in. And we both have loved coffee for years, and we had been buying local roasted coffee for a long time, but we would go down into Austin, and this is before the pandemic, and it would get really expensive. We'd have to drive pretty far to get good quality roasted coffee, and so he thought, well, why don't we try to make it? I thought he was crazy, but he did. He actually started with a cast iron, to be honest. So went real old school, but it did not turn out well. He did not stop. He actually had read that air roasting coffee was a really smooth way to drink your coffee, and so he had read that you could roast raw green beans in a popcorn maker, an old school, that you picture that white and yellow, piece of equipment. So he roasted in that, and it was delicious. It was really good. We did that for a minute. Like, we just drank the coffee, and it was great. We learned where to source the raw green beans from in a small amount, and we would order it, and we would make our own coffee. And then we just slowly had our friends and family try it, and they loved it, and they started coming back and asking for more. So we eventually did upgrade to just a countertop consumer grade air roaster, which also was wonderful. We started really learning about the process of air roasting and how that's so unique and different from your typical drum roasted coffee.
Yep.
And then friends kept coming back, and we eventually thought, this could be something. We knew there were so many benefits to air roasted coffee. Number one, it just tastes better. So I'll kind of explain the process if that's
absolutely.
okay.
Yeah. I was going to ask you next exactly that,
So,
because I think most people have had. Well, let's give an example. Starbucks is a drum roasted coffee, right?
Yes.
And a lot of people feel it's maybe on the burnt side a little bit.
Yeah. And I've heard there's some reasoning behind that.
It's a consistency issue.
It's a consistency issue. They need their coffee to be the same everywhere in the world, and so I think they over roast it a little bit. Actually, I think they've even admitted to it.
Yeah.
It is what it is. Unfortunately, I think a lot of drum roasted coffee does taste over roasted anyways. And there's a reason to that, I believe, because in a drum, the raw green beans, when they're being roasted, they are touching a hot surface, right? A lot of the times. And they're literally burning the shell of the bean. There is a shell on the bean that comes off during the process. And with lots of drum roasting, maybe not all, but with lots, the shell also gets burnt back into the beans, giving it also a burnt taste, right? So that's one side of it. With the air roasting side, our beans are constantly being, it's called fluid bed roasting. So they're constantly being turned around in a circle.
Circulating.
Yeah, circulating basically in the air. And it never touches a hot surface for too long. So the shell of the bean, when it comes off during the roasting process, it doesn't burn back down into the beans. It actually flies up into a separate container, which we then compost all of that. So not only is it more sustainable, it just produces a cleaner, smoother bean. So, yeah.
What was the point? You mentioned a bunch of friends who were interested in the coffee.
Yeah.
What was the point that you guys said, okay, we need to do a business out of this?
Yes. So lots of reasons. My background is in the corporate world. So I actually came from Dell. That was my first job in Round Rock when we moved here almost 17 years ago. So my background's IT. Did the corporate thing for 8 years there, and just didn't enjoy it. I mean, I loved the people, I loved my managers, but just needed to get out. And so did a few things in between that, but just decided, I needed to do something on my own and something in the community that was flexible. We have 2 little kids, and something that I was passionate about, that I actually enjoyed doing, and coffee was just hands down it. My husband helps me tremendously, but he still has a full-time job. So this is my baby right now, and I do everything from the roasting to the packaging, the delivering.
The packaging.
So we brought some coffee today.
Yep.
And we wanted to do something that was giving back to the community in a way that was so localized, right? Hence, why we're so involved with the chambers and other organizations around the Round Rock area and beyond. We just wanted to do something that was more localized and that made people happy. So, being able to get a great cup of coffee in your house, that's the whole point. It's whole bean only. We don't grind the coffee. We want you to do that. We want you to have an experience at your own home, and we do free local delivery. So we just try to make it as easy and simple as possible. That's kind of where we went with this, and we decided subscription services is an amazing way to go. People don't have to think about it. They don't have to worry. They just know they're getting delicious coffee every morning.
Yeah, but people can also order one time
Absolutely.
as a gift and have it delivered
For
to someone
sure.
locally. We had a couple people do that for my wife, they knew she was a crazy coffee lover, and they decided to order your coffee and have it delivered. What made you decide that again, I'm just trying to understand the mind of an entrepreneur. Because you could have opened a coffee shop. You could have focused in on national shipping. What made you focus in on this local delivery subscription kind of model? So
we wanted everything to be organic, and we wanted it to be homegrown. We wanted to take things slow, right? We didn't want to jump into anything and be like, we're doing this to make a ton of money. We really wanted something that was flexible in the beginning, because again, we have kids, but something we enjoyed. And so, we thought doing it slow, doing it organically, and just see where it goes. And thankfully, it's worked out well so far. We've gotten more and more subscribers. I find that really diving into the community side of things and that network has been the most amazing thing so far. I mean, I'm on a chamber board in Hutto. I belong to the Round Rock Chamber. I just joined the YMCA board.
Yeah, I saw that.
So it's just meeting all these amazing people, and a ton of them are entrepreneurs, right? Some of them, sure, they come from the corporate world, but a lot of them are business owners, and just learning from them and, having those conversations and realizing that there's so many of us in the same boat, right? We all just want to help each other. And I just love that, that aspect of it. And it's just been really fun to kind of get out there and just do our thing.
And connect with people and connect to the community. Yeah. I'm curious, as an entrepreneur, two sides, right? I want to kind of explore what were the best things you've learned from the community that's helped you progress your business, and also kind of identify maybe some of the challenges that you've been dealing with,
Sure.
As a local business, and maybe how the community's come in to help you with that.
Yeah. So the business leadership series that the Round Rock Chamber puts on has been awesome, because a lot of those presenters who come in, they might not be completely industry specific, right? No one's come in and talked about how to start a roastery or how to produce the best cup of coffee, but they always have tidbits in there. There's always something that I can get from it, right? Like whether it's marketing, social media, just sales in general, networking.
Well, for my wife's business, I tell this all the time at the member orientation for the chamber. I said, one of the key things I got is I ran an agency for years. I've hired a lot of people, but in home care, it's a whole different type of recruiting.
Right.
And never expected that. And there was one business leader series where they taught about, hiring and retention in today's environment. And it just made me tweak a couple little things, and we've almost never had a hiring issue since then. And
amazing.
It's like, those series are invaluable, no matter how much experience you have as a business owner or not.
Exactly. Oh, you will get something no matter what. And then same with the 1 million cups. So I know that's not completely chamber related, but they are a huge part of that initiative, which is nationwide. That alone has been tremendous, because you've got these vulnerable people getting up and speaking about something that they do and love and are passionate about, but they have issues and they have questions and they need your help. I mean, almost everything that they have issues with, I could find something relatable, right? So, and then there's the audience who chimes in and says, have you thought of this? Have you gone here? Here's a resource. So even the audience can get something from that. So just those different monthly meetings, just networking in general in the community has been amazing, whether it's through the YMCA or chamber events, ribbon cuttings, just talking to people about what it is we do. People are very interested in coffee, which is awesome. It's a very easy...
We drink a lot of cups of coffee in this country.
We do. I think we're the number 2 commodity in the world, coffee is. So it's a big deal. And it's a fun topic. So it's really neat to be able to engage with folks about what they do and about what I do, and feed off of each other and get ideas from each other.
As an entrepreneur, what are some of the bigger challenges that you faced?
Yeah, so I will say in the beginning, I was really concerned about competitive advantage. And what I've found in my journey is that it's actually the opposite. So in the beginning, I thought, oh, this is awesome. We are air roasters, right? We're unique. No one does this. And then I started finding out there are actually more and more local, smaller companies air roasting. And instead of being like, oh, that's not okay because this is what we do, I'm actually like diving into it. And it's actually a very amazing thing, because I've gone and talked to some of those owners, and we literally can help each other. We talk about, why it's so cool what we do, and how to help each other, and, just swing ideas, back and forth. And so it's actually turned into a good thing, which I thought was negative at first. I would say some of the bigger challenges is, as an entrepreneur, you literally wear all the hats. And I mean, people say that, but it's so true. I mean, you don't think about some of the things that you need to think about all the time.
Sometimes you wouldn't want to fire your delivery driver, don't you?
Which is yourself. Yeah, exactly. Or I tried to be my own bookkeeper the first year. For the full first year, I thought I did a great job. And then we went to our accountant and they were like, yeah, you probably should hire someone.
It was the hire number one for us. I was like, I don't want to deal with books. My wife didn't want to deal with the books. Bookkeeper and accountant in place.
Done.
Absolutely.
So in fact, that would be my advice to anyone: a bookkeeper, accountant, attorney,
a controller as well, if depending on where you're at in the business.
Yes. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, just kind of figuring out those different processes and prioritize what takes precedence. Some days I find that I'm not being proactive and I'm just taking care of what needs to be done that day, whereas I need to be working on the business. And I learned that from actually Daniel Hernandez of Centro Event Center. He'd hosted several meetings, and some of the things he mentioned was you have to work on your business, not in your business.
Yep.
And so I'm slowly trying to get to that mindset as well.
I was at a ribbon cutting this week. And I'm not gonna call him out.
Okay.
But I was standing with the husband who's helping his wife in his business, so I can relate to this. And I said, okay, well, how much are you worth an hour? How much would you like to get paid an hour? And he threw out a number, and I said, I think it's a fair number, like 150, 200. I'm like, beautiful. I think that's great. You deserve that. And I said, why are you doing $20 an hour jobs?
So true.
And it just landed, because I think that's the hardest thing for us entrepreneurs to realize is that yes, we're passionate because we love the coffee. We love all the aspects. We love meeting the people and dropping it off. You can love all of that. But does it bring value to your business in the long term?
Right.
And we get so stuck and overwhelmed on the day-to-day, which is part of the reason for the book, that we forget the bigger story, that if we're really trying to have an impact either for our family, for our community, you can't do it if you're running every job, because those hats start weighing a lot when you're wearing so many of them.
Yep, absolutely. And thankfully, we are in a point where we are building a warehouse, which is phenomenal. So we're
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
I know you've been talking about it for a while.
I know. It's been a long time coming. They've broken ground, so that's wonderful. And 2026, early part of 2026 is what we're looking at. So that's going to be a whole nother stage of things, and I will have to make those determinations. Okay, where do I let go of certain hats, right? And know that maybe in the beginning we will have to pay more money, for certain things and hire out for certain things. But if we want this business to succeed and continue growing in the community, then that's what we'll have to do.
What do you see as, we're just finishing the first kind of half of 2025. What do you see happening for you the rest of 2025? Because obviously I imagine holiday season's big for you.
Yeah.
What do you see that, that road looks like for the next 6 months?
Oh gosh. I mean, so we do a lot during the holidays. Surprisingly, the summer's already starting out pretty well compared to last year. Usually in the summer months, people don't quite drink as much hot coffee, or they're just not around. They're not home as much, so they don't want the subscription services. But thankfully, we've been doing really well, and we've added subscribers, and our retention is amazing. Once people drink our coffee, they tend to stick with us. And so, we just find that's been an amazing thing. But the winter months are really our bread and butter. People do drink more coffee, and we find that if we attend more bigger events where we actually have a booth and we can showcase our product and people can sample it. Gift baskets are huge during the holidays, so we do a lot of that for Christmas time. And we do a lot of gift baskets just in general that we give away for nonprofits. That's kind of a big thing we've been doing. I want to say last year, we gave away like 30 baskets, which doesn't sound like a lot, but is a very small company.
Yeah, for a small business, that's significant.
It's a lot. And I love it because it's a great marketing tactic, but in the end, I'm helping these nonprofits raise money. The holidays are kind of big for us. But we also have kids, so we are able to be flexible right now since we do roast out of our house. So I really think that the big push is going to be in 2026. I think that's where you'll see a lot of changes with Stone Stash, and yeah, it'll be different for sure.
How can the community and our listeners help you moving forward?
Gosh, I don't know, just showing up to the events where we do provide coffee, even though we're not a coffee shop, right? We don't brew coffee, but we tend to brew a lot of coffee because of all the events we attend and help sponsor. So just showing up to some of these Round Rock Chamber events where we do provide coffee. I also provide coffee at the Hutto Power Breakfast, which is held once a month. You can look that up online, and that's through the city. So just I bring the coffee, and I want people to come and taste it, see the difference. It's really unique. And then if you do enjoy it and you like coffee, please shop local. I mean, that's a huge ask. Like, I love my customers who come to me. This is a good example. I had a customer email me just 2 weeks ago, and they're moving. They're like, I'm so sorry we had to cancel our subscription. We're moving. And we would actually even have you ship coffee to us, but we shop local everywhere we go, and we want to give someone else an opportunity. And I was like, that's amazing. Please do that,
Yes.
right? Like, please just shop local wherever you are. So I would ask that. Yeah.
So you start your day, you have your roast, you have your bags, you got your deliveries, you've got your kids. How do you get time to enjoy the community? What kinds of things are you doing to enjoy the community?
Oh gosh, we love trying new restaurants. Round Rock's slowly getting there, right? We love trying new things that come into town. Kalahari's in our backyard, so we'll go there every once in a while. We love to go to the movies. The trail system in Round Rock is phenomenal.
Totally.
We are lucky enough we can literally bike from our house along an entire trail all the way to downtown Round Rock. And, we'll go do pizza there and then the candy shop afterwards, right? And then ride back and not feel guilty. So just exploring the town. And there's still a lot we haven't even done, so.
Is there a business that you've found lately that really deserves a shout out that you'd love to give a shout out to that probably...
Oh gosh, so many. I'll do a couple, actually, maybe 3. I'll do several. So I do have to say, Urban Rooftop has been Urban in general has been amazing with us. They are using their coffee for their espresso martini. So Urban Rooftop.
So if you don't want your coffee hot and you just want to try it in a martini fashion,
summertime,
we know where to go. Okay.
Yes, please check it out. It is the best espresso martini out there. So Blake Notgrass and his wife Allison, they're amazing. And just the fact that they gave me an opportunity. There's a new business coming, Purely Provisions. I don't know if you've
I've heard
of
a lot
them.
about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they're going to be using our decaf coffee for their coffee shop, which is awesome. And I cannot wait to try out their facility. They're going to have, I think, breakfast, lunch, dinner, bar, coffee, everything, live music. And then a little different route, but Mod Architect has been amazing in the community, and they have been by our side every step of the way and haven't even architected anything for us yet, but they're just like so excited for us to get a warehouse, which isn't even customer facing really. I mean, it will be a little bit. So Mod Architecture has been really, really cool. Good company, great community company.
Awesome. Well, if people want to connect with you, besides coming to the events and maybe order some coffee, where's the best place to find you?
Yes, stonestashcoffee.com. So purely through our website, you can order. You can set up a subscription, or you can order one time, like a one-off. We do sample sizes as well. We're on social media. We're on Facebook and Instagram under Stone Stash. That's about it.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Bryan.